Y'all, I am so sorry for being late right now. There's this video of this guy getting punched in the face for no reason. There's like this Japanese version of Spirit. Yeah, did you know that Japan had their own Spirit airline? It's called like Zip Japan or some shit like that. And like this dude literally hit this other guy in the face for trying to turn the air vent because he was trying to turn the air on him. And like he hit him in the face, and the dude had to get up and like y'all, oh my God. It was crazy. It distracted me and I lost track of time. I apologize, but let's go ahead and get started with the show, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? And welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? What's up, Melanie? How you doing? What's up, Demetria? Thank you for holding it down for the mods. What's up, Winnie? How you doing today? Shout out to everybody coming in the room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is my third live today. I went live earlier, then went live on the backup, then now I'm live right now. So I don't know if y'all gonna get a fourth show out of me. This might be the last one. So let's go ahead and savor the moment and appreciate it. What's up, I Am Human First? Shout out to you. You've been making your rounds around these YouTube streets. And I like your editing. I want to hire you as like my video editor. When I get some video editor money. I want to hire you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody. So yeah, we are going to talk about freaky ass Larry Reid and Vincent Terrell. That's my baby daddy Hill. We're going to talk about all of them. I wanted to talk about the Stellar Awards. Any church people in here? I have a question. Why are the Stellar Awards now? For those of you who don't know, Stellar Awards is like the big gospel award show. Why is it always in Vegas? Isn't Vegas the city of sin? Like, shouldn't they have it like, I don't know, somewhere in like Mississippi or Alabama, like a Bible Belt state? Like, why is it always in Vegas? Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Do the gospel people be having freak offs in Vegas? Is that why? That has to be the reason why. But anyway, hopefully you guys will, tell me later. But anyway, this is just water, by the way. So Vincent, for those of you guys who don't know, I talked about this behind our membership, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a public video. Business trademark. Oh, really? Oh, thank you for the update, Luciana. I wonder who could it have been. The Guardian. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for coming. Oh, church people like to gamble too. Well, yeah, gambling is a sin, though. You're not supposed to gamble. Well, I think it's like if you go to the extreme, I think that's what makes it a sin. But yeah, you're not supposed to gamble and stuff like that. So it's weird how it's always in Vegas. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Vincent Terrell Hill, aka Buddha, did a 4-part documentary about everything that happened between, him growing up until, his mom was abusive, and then because of that, it carried over into Larry Reid, who was his abuser. A lot of it was mostly about how he has been manipulated. As far as like, how do I put this? Because it's hard, because I see the criticism too, and rightfully so. A lot of people criticize him because he was a grown man. It's not like he was a kid. Now, can adults be groomed? Yes, I do believe that adults can be groomed. But also, I think he was in love too. And this is the part that he's not really admitting to. In talking about Vincent, he talks about how he was in basically a sex cult. But I think he doesn't admit that he was actually in love. And, whatever Larry promised him or whatever sweet nothings he whispered to him, he fell for it. And then on the other side of the spectrum, well, that was a married man you were in love with. So how were you really in love? Like, honestly, it seemed like it was just a casual hookup situation, and somebody feelings got involved. That's what it looks like. Now, do I believe there was a little manipulation and stuff like that? Yes, because I don't know if you guys caught it. Something important that when he was working for Larry, he wasn't making like an abundance or like a lot of money. Like if Larry wanted, say if Vincent bills were like $501, then Larry would give him $501 to cover for his bills. And then when it came to like eating, like if he got in trouble, quote unquote, he couldn't go out and eat. He would have to get the leftovers and the scraps. And even to that point, I was kind of like, Ninja, you a grown ass man. Like, you telling me that you allowed this? And for 13 years. And I think partially you allowed it because you were in love. I think that's why you allowed it. Because there's no way in hell you should ever allow somebody to mistreat you, or if somebody doesn't want you to grow and to be able to do things, and somehow they're tying it into the church and saying like God wouldn't be pleased with this, or I feel like you would know. You know what I mean? I feel like you would know, like, okay, I don't think this is of God. Or he would say Larry would have these premonitions and these visions that he was like doing stuff. He was flirting with people, or he was masturbating without him. And we gonna go extreme, y'all. Put your kids to bed. Doing all X, Y, and Z without him. And it was just like, wait, what's going on? Huh? It's crazy. New York said that reminds me of what Giovanni was saying about T.S. Madison. Oh, really? Oh, see, I have to go back and remember that whole scenario and everything like that. But yeah, it was like all this craziness, and you're just kind of like, at no point you thought like this was wrong. Like he did end up leaving at some point, but he stayed for like those 13 years in the beginning and then came back to it. I'm just all like, how do you do all that? Like, really? About the payment? Oh, okay, okay. I remember something about that, but I don't remember the full story. Yeah, but it was like so crazy because like at 23, mind you, now he's like in his late 30s, 40s, right? Um, 23, I felt like you would know if something was wrong, like as far as like someone controlling you. And I guess in a way where I can't make the distinction of is I didn't grow up in the church. Like to me, if I was 23 and stuff like that was happening, I would know something is wrong for me personally. But maybe because of he grew up in the church, he felt like, oh, well, he had to please God and this is what he had to do. Like, I never think a pastor, preacher, whoever has a better relationship to God with God than me. I don't believe that. I feel like they have the same channel, the same funnel of prayers and everything else that I do that I can send directly to God. I don't feel like it needs to go through my pastor or anything like that. Not at all. That's how I feel. Oh, that's still an age of grooming. Okay. Okay. But not sure what to do. Yeah. And I'm just all like, what's up, Melanie? That's no excuse. Yeah. And I think also too, what makes it hard to look at Vincent as a victim is you were also messing with a married man, and you guys would have relations while everybody was still in the house. You know, you would turn up the TV or turn up the radio, and like, and this is why I said Vincent Terrell Jaguar right here, because the way he tells a story, he doesn't mind embarrassing himself to tell the story, because we should have never known that you never dushed and y'all use pink moisturizer. Yo! Yo! I screamed because I was all like, this shit can't be real. It cannot be real. And like, I was kind of like, wait, hold on. This shit is, huh? And again, he did apologize to the wife and stuff like that, right? Or gave a virtual apology, not face to face, a virtual apology. But probably for her, uh, nah. She was not okay with none of that shit. And she still probably won't be okay with it. Knowing that this is what y'all like, because my thing is like, so nobody in the house knew that y'all were hooking up. Like nobody smelled that dude. 30 seconds before I say this. 30 seconds. Hold on, y'all, before I say this. So y'all was in that house hooking up, right? And nobody noticed that it smelled like doo-doo. Y'all, this is what this man said. I'm not making this shit up. I'm like, ain't nobody know. Y'all was having funky, nasty sex up in there. And ain't nobody smelled that shit. And you, but 13 years, like, oh my god. Oh my god. And, you know, and I know it's probably true. Like, it's not something like, I don't even want to say allegedly. Like, I know it's probably true. Like, I don't think Vincent is lying. It's just that don't embarrass yourself like that. Like, you could have told us a story without embarrassing yourself like that. I'm getting triggered with the Jaguar. Exactly. Literally, you told the story like that with no shame? None at all? Like, you don't have any shame? Right, Mary, you didn't make any noise? Like, no one knew anything? Like, oh, let's just, like, two men in a bedroom. Okay. Two men in the bedroom with the door closed, the TV turned all the way up, or the radio on. You're going to assume something. I'm sorry. Something is going on. And I feel like, again, you're allowing yourself to be used like that, you know? You're allowing yourself to be used. I don't feel like I feel like if Vincent would have just came out and said, like, okay, fix the time on your outfit. It's actually right. It's just blinking because the power went out. Like, it was crazy. It went out for a couple of minutes yesterday. But anyway, going back to the story. I feel that he's not just saying like, yo, I was in love with this man. I was willing to do anything for him. This is a part of what I went through, what I've been going through. I apologize for, you know, ever getting so involved and deeply in love with somebody who was married. I think if he just would have took that onus, that ownership of it, it would have been a lot better for him than whether try to frame it like he groomed it. And again, like I said, I do believe there was a little grooming and stuff like that, but I feel like you were also in love. I fell out the cloud. Yo, Jill, I'm just being honest. Ain't nobody smelt that room. I know that room. Lisa was probably washing their drawers and was all like, what's that? Okay, let me stop. Hopefully ain't nobody eating right now. But I'm like, who would and like I said, I don't think he's lying. Now, is he coming from a vengeful, hurt place? Yes. But I do not think he's lying. I don't. Um, I seen Stephanie say something in here. Hold on. I ain't with it at this point. We blurred the lines between courting and grooming, between affection and love bombing, and between common differences in partners and power differentials. Yes, Stephanie, yes. I don't. Because here's the thing. After he did I'm fast forwarding, but we'll go back. After he did the 4-part documentary, he also did a live with Levantre, who we know Levantre is a victim of Larry Reid and all that other stuff, allegedly, right? And it's all like, okay, well, what does Levantre have to do with your story? Because Levantre, if we're taking what he said as true, he was a minor at the time and he was groomed. He lived in the home and all that whole situation, right? But that's not Vincent's story. Vincent's story is more like this was a mutual situationship, and that's different. And now he wants to say, oh, Levantre is, this and that, and he thinks that Levantre is a victim, and he talks to Levantre. That's all fine and dandy, but your situation is not the same as Levantre. And so that's where it got kind of wonky for me, and I'm all like, okay, you're really trying to tie this into like you were groomed, and this is how Levantre was probably groomed too. Which, I mean, I feel like Larry is a pimp. He got the same script for everybody. All the men's that been in Larry Reid home and stuff like that, he got the same script that he used for all of them. I don't deny that. However, Vincent, you are a grown man. It's completely different. Completely different. Yeah, Vincent was a grown man knowing right from wrong. Right. And I feel like, Vincent, and again, I'm not trying to beat him up or anything like that, but it's like I can see why so many people had a reaction to him, because it's all like, dude, you're kind of trying to frame yourself as a victim, but technically it just seemed like you were a scorned lover almost. And I don't want to say seemed, it would be a scorned lover. You feel like you were misused, mistreated, and the stuff that Larry was doing was not all right. I'm not excusing the part of stuff that Larry did wrong. I'm not excusing that. But I just feel like you played into it because you were in love. You wanted more than what it was. Yes, Fixie, that's what we talking about. Yeah, that part, not possible. No one in that house didn't know what was happening. Yeah, and I'm just all like, and again, if Larry is just doing this, and as far as like him and Vincent or whatever, if it wasn't tied to the whole religion thing, that's where it gets uncomfortable, and that's where it gets wonky. because it's all like you're supposed to be ministering to people and be walking, with Christ or Christ like, and nothing, none of that freaky shit going on is anything to do with Christ or anything like that. Definitely. Larry plays on religion and using prophecies, BS to scam and manipulate people. Yes, that's the problem I have. Him being a freak, freaky ass Larry. He is 69 God. I don't mind. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, but freaky ass Larry. He is 69 God. I don't care what he does in his personal time or whatever. It's the tying it to the religion and all that. That's where I'm all like, no. You can't do that. And granted, he doesn't have a church anymore, but as I understand, on Sundays he still do church, right? For his Patreon members, and I'm all like, are they actually? And trust me, there are people that love them some Larry. You can't tell them shit. They love them some Larry. I think Larry is entertaining, but I'm not asking Larry for a prayer. Oh shit. I think Larry is entertaining, but I'm definitely not going to him for a prayer. I'm just nigga, I'm sorry. Larry, can you pray for me? No, you are praying to the gods of 69. You are not praying it. No. Oh my God. I'm just like, this shit is crazy. God of pimpology, but I don't think those prayers are being sent to the right person. I just wouldn't ask for it. No. Larry be all like, I'll pray for you. No, thank you. I'll take my chances. I'll just, I can touch you and heal you. No, don't touch me. I'm cool. Like, it's just certain things I'm like, y'all not asking, like, it's just weird. It's just weird to me. Like, nobody is asking questions. Like, y'all just going along with everything. Like, nobody's saying, like, okay, well, something's not right. If you like entertainment, you like entertainment. Are y'all distracted by the goddamn? Oh, hold on. Let me fix the goddamn clock. Hold on. Shit. All right. Let me fix it. Hold on. Oh, no, not cook time. No. No. Okay, there we go. It's fixed. It's stopped blinking. All right. Okay. So back to freaky ass Larry. Okay, anyway. So with Vincent, I feel like there's a lot of it didn't seem like he took accountability for the part that he played. It's more or less, I'm gonna put it all on Larry, and this is what he was doing to me, and this is how like, yeah, those things could be true. Definitely. We get it. We understand. However, the issue is that you also allowed this to be done to you. If you had any self-respect, you would have been like, no, this ain't right. I'm not dealing with this shit. Granted, I do want to point this out. He did say that there were times where he tried to leave, and his friend picked him up. I forgot what his friend named, but that's here nor there, right? His friend picked him up, and he was staying with a friend, and then the other church was somehow connected to Larry's, and told Buddha's friend or Vincent's friend to return him back home, and so he ended up going back. Y'all gotta get out the South. Like, if you're trying to run away, you gotta get out the South. I think a lot of maybe that's some Southern stuff. I don't get that whole part because if anything, you're not going to force me to go back, or I'm not going to go back. I'm mean, like, no, I'm not going back. Like, um, and he mentioned that he didn't say why, or nobody asked him why he was trying to escape and stuff like that, and so he kind of felt compelled to go back. And I was all like, damn, ah, mm, damn. Did you get what I read? Yeah, about the whole thing. Yeah, I read that. He was he was involved in the church as well too, and then he stumbled upon. I forgot how he said he stumbled upon Larry, but he said he seen Larry and he seen like he was sweet and everything like that, and so that's why he decided to tag along with him. But I feel like in that sense with the church, you sometimes want to feel you belong somewhere. And I feel like a lot, and I feel like that's what with Vincent was the big issue. He wanted to feel like he belonged, and so he was willing to do anything to feel he belonged somewhere. I felt lost before. I will say, just growing up, you feel kind of lost and you don't feel like you belong, right? But for him, he never found that his area where he felt like he belonged. Now, he's healed. He said he has gone through therapy and stuff like that. But then I can't help but to think like you are freaky ass Larry. He is 69 God Jr. Because now, and trust me, I think Vincent should make his money. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but he's promoting his whatchamacallit, his soul searching business, his soul something about finding your soul and teaching people how to suck souls and shit like that. I forgot what the name of the business is, but correct me what the business name is. But now he's doing his soul snatching business, and he can teach you how to find the inner you and suck souls and shit like that, whatever, right? And it's like these infomercials for like his business and stuff like that. He can teach you how to, just like I don't want Larry to pray for me. I don't think you can heal my soul. I think you still have a lot of soul healing to do. I don't think it has healed. I do feel like the process has been healing for you to get your story out there. But I think because it's been about, I want to say 7 videos, because there was the expose, and then it was like a Q&A, and then it was like 4 other videos. I think now looking at it, it just seemed like this was the Terrell Hill revenge tour. It was the revenge tour. Now I'm not gonna lie. Vincent telling his side of the story and stuff like that, and let's get those likes up. Vincent telling his side of the story and shit like that, it has brought a lot of clarity to some things that have been going on, and it makes a lot of sense how Larry. It really looks like he'll set up, different kind of plays and moves and place people in certain areas. He's very calculated. All of that, I was able to draw that conclusion and put that together. And I was like, okay, this makes sense right here. I get it. I get it. This makes a lot of sense what he's talking about. That's why I said I can't say Vincent is lying at all. It makes sense to me, but also too, I can see where he also would have to take accountability too as well for the part that he played. Especially, you kind of put the man on and kind of put him, you start the Larry Reid show and kind of start him up, and then when you started this, you didn't realize that this monster was going to end up growing, and then all of a sudden you were going to be left out. Also, too, that whole he owed him like $98,000. Um, because I had asked him too. I was all like, okay, well, the narrative has been put out there that because you were getting evicted out your house or whatever, this is why you wanted to expose Larry Reid. And he was all like, no, that's not true. Um, and then I forgot how he explained the whole him getting evicted or why he had to move out his place or whatever. But then I was thinking like, well, damn, how you burned through $98,000? Like, shit, that's a lot of money to burn through. 98,000. You know, that's a lot of money. I don't know how he burned through 98,000. That was another thing I was kind of like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, what were you doing with the money? Like, what were you spending it on? Did you do invest your money in like some kind of startup business and then you lost it all? But that's a lot of money. Even like it wasn't all 98 at one time, as I understand. It was like 8,000 a month or something like that. $8,000, that's a lot of fucking money. That's not no, flash in the bed. And especially in Atlanta, you should be able to eat off of $8,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who live in Atlanta, but 8,000, that seems like a lot of money. You should be able to eat off of that. I don't care what anybody say. $8,000, that's a lot of money. So yeah, that was a little confusing too. Like, damn, how you burnt through all that money? Like, damn, what you do? Or did you owe that much money, to maybe the IRS, lenders, this and that? Like, that was a lot of money. Um, and I think also it teaches a lesson too when Larry is fixated on eights. Mm. Oh yeah, because isn't it like for his Patreon or you give him 888 or something like that? Yeah, it's something like that, right? For his Patreon or something like that. 888. Yeah, I think it's the eights or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. It's something like that. Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, I just realized. Yeah, he has an obsession with eights, and that's probably why he gave him 8,000 a month, and then 98,000 was the total he um, can hear you. Oh, you can or can't? Put a one. Can you guys hear me? Grifters always fixated on numbers. Ooh, I'm bored. Okay. Oh, maybe it's Facebook that can't hear me, Melanie. Maybe it's Facebook. Okay, you guys can't hear me. Okay, good. Okay. Maybe the Facebook feed that went out. Okay. Oh, I can't even see it on my Facebook. Something happened to it. All right. Anyway. Vincent. Um, I think the relationship that Vincent want, I'm kind of reiterating this, but the relationship that Vincent want, Larry was never going to give that to him. I think with Larry being a pastor and being involved in church, he was never going to claim Vincent as his boyfriend or whatever. That wasn't a thing that he was going to do ever. I believe that Larry probably had a wife for the appearance that he had a happy home and stuff like that. The whole first lady trope. That's why he wanted that. That's what he wanted. And possibly Larry could have really liked Vincent at one point, but that doesn't mean that he was in love. It was more like sometimes the power dynamic. Some people don't realize that, but sometimes the power dynamic. I can literally tell you what to do and you do it for me. That's a part of the whole pleasure thing. It's a part of the S&M culture, like the whips and chains culture people. Well, there's like different sectors. This shit is crazy, y'all. But it's like different sectors. And so he was dominant where Vincent was submissive. And so that kind of dynamic played into that relationship. That's a part of the foreplay, him being dominant over Vincent. And I don't think, and Vincent probably took like, oh, he likes me. He really likes me. He cares about me. And it's like, no, no, it was about the power. Because then Vincent finds out that he's not the only one. He finds out that he's not the only one. There's others and everything like that. And so then, and then you just kind of get to thinking about freaky ass Larry, he is 69 God, right? You kind of started thinking like, damn, is everybody around? Everybody he around? He be fucking in that? Like, damn, like what is going on? You know? Like it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. Like, damn, like all of this is going on. And like, granted, you really don't know what goes on in somebody's home, right? You don't know. You never know what's going on in somebody's home. It's kind of like you see my this part of my life, and then when I turn off the cameras, you don't know what's going on. Just like when I'm not talking to you guys, I don't know what's going on. And so when you have somebody kind of exposing what's going on, you're kind of like, oh wow, this is what's really going on behind closed doors. You know, it's crazy when you think about it. Oh, oh, Jesus. I don't know, but what I will say to your comment, Nitwit, is that I don't think Larry has a genuine relationship with anybody. I think everybody is a tool or a pawn in his game. I want to say he has a genuine bone, but I don't think he has a genuine bone. I think everything is like, how can I use you and how can I, how can I line my pockets up? How can I fatten my pockets? How can I make sure that I am getting ahead? Never like, how can I make sure all my people are good? How can I help my community? I believe it's always about a gain. GAIN, a gain with him. Yeah. At this point, with all the stories, I don't think anything is actually genuine. Like I said, definitely an entertainer. Like I watch for the entertainment, but as far as me like taking the words and being like, oh my God, he's such a godly man. No, no, definitely. Just like I said earlier, if I need a prayer, that's one person I'm not asking for a prayer. I'll take my chances, you know. And again, I know we all sinners and everything like that, and nobody's perfect. I get it. However, damn, like, and then that also plays into the point like, oh, everybody's mad, everybody's bitter. Oh, this person is mad, this person is bitter. Okay, I believe there is a lot of bitter people around. However, not everybody that you done dealt with is bitter. Maybe there are some truths, and maybe there's some shit that you have to look at yourself and be all like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. Like maybe I should improve, or maybe I should try to be um, a better person, Maybe I should try to better my relationships. Maybe I should try not to use people. Maybe I should make sure that I'm taking care of people instead of having to pay them $98,000 13 years later for work that they did 13 years ago. You know? Right. Prayers can be curses. Yeah. That definitely it can be a curse instead. Yeah. Because there's some people who PRAY, and then there's some people that PREY. Difference, a difference. I believe that there's some people who PRAY and some people who PREY. That's the truth right there. And so I believe the praying is probably praying, like, let me see how I can use you. Let me see, how I can align you so I can fatten my wallets and fatten my pockets. I, And one thing too, I don't think this convinces anybody not to go to church or anything like that. And I would never want that to be the message like, oh, y'all shouldn't go to organized religion, screw the church. I'm definitely not trying to convince you of that. I'm just trying to convince you guys, like, just be careful of who you are, you know, out there getting your spiritual advice from. Make sure the people that you are aligning with are Christ-like or to the best ability, because everybody sins. Everybody does, but make sure they are trying their best to live a clean and healthy life. Sometimes you have to have your own relationship with God. And I feel like some of these people don't have their own relationship with God. Too many friendships for one pastor, can't trust the preaching. Mm. Research for yourself, never blind follow anyone. I agree. I agree. Oh, yeah, New York. I just read her comment. I'll put it up. Yeah. Yeah, way too many. And like I said, I don't think Vincent even realized with him trying. And like I said, he can definitely promote his businesses and stuff like that. I'm not denying that at all. Or I'm not trying to say he can't, but I could see the similarities and the parallels between the two. I'm all like, oh well, okay, well you kind of took on this whole thing because like then you're promoting all your businesses and stuff like that, and I can teach you and do all this. Now I know he said the first session is free, but I don't know the price afterwards. But I'm pretty sure if he's spending a lot of time with you trying to heal your soul, oh, I know it costs some money. I know it ain't free. Like, come on now. Do you think if the churches were not tax exempt, would less people open a church? Ooh, I think so. I think so. I feel like a lot of people do have a church for tax purposes. You know, that's how they're able to get away with some things. I agree with that. Right, right. That's true. Yeah, that Scientology is a whole nother ball game. I agree. Yeah, who you let in your domain? Narcissists are waiting to get their talons into you. Right. Yeah, they're gonna dig them into you definitely. And I felt like, honestly, too, I am happy that Vincent did share his story. I think it's a learning lesson for anybody. Just be careful out there. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of videos on YouTube like exposing the church and different religions and stuff like that. I think this one kind of just parallels into the different sectors that we watch and we're in, and so that's why it's like a big deal or a big story. But definitely not the only one. It's definitely a lot more um, when it comes to the pastors and what they're doing, and why everybody had to live in the same damn house. Now that's when you know something is wrong. If everybody got to live in the same house, like you can't have your own house. Everybody is literally living under one roof. Since this is going to be the last show, I will go ahead and drop the link. Unless something crazy happened tonight, then I'll come back. But oh no, what happened? Oh, I think my internet might be down. Maybe that's what's going on. Hello, everybody coming in the room. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate y'all. Okay, there we go. People need to stop worshiping the pastor. I agree. Excuse me, indentured slaves. Yeah, that's almost how it was, right? Because they were working for him, but it was mostly like they were only allowed a certain amount of money. They weren't allowed like it's not like they had a set amount. According to Vincent, if his bills was $501, he literally only got $501. That's not a church. That's a cult, right, Ronnie? And make note, LR is a sole proprietor of his nonprofit, meaning he answered to no one as how the money is spent. Oh, well, yeah, because he's a 501. Is it 501 or 503? Like I said, running a brothel as a 501. Oh, ay, ay, ay. And like I said, you literally have to think about 501c3. That's what it is. Thank you, Princess. You literally have to think about it like, damn, like everybody. What's up, Timothy Flake? Yo, Uncle Tim, can you come up? I dropped the link. It's pinned up on top. I dropped the link. Can you come up? Yo, we got a beat sector legend up in the motherfucking house. Shout out to Uncle Tim. Yo. But yeah, running, as a gossip channel, a gossip channel slash, what do they? It's like a place where like gay men go. Is a bath. A motherfucking gossip channel slash bath. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my god, this shit is crazy. It is crazy. Like, why is it always have you ever heard of a scat queen? No, what's a scat queen? Is it that stuff that Jaguar Wright do when she be like is that what you mean? Ah! Yo. This shit is crazy. Oh, oh shit. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh. Yo, Tim, I don't know if you just got here, but I was just saying, like, how I was like, ain't nobody smelt that room. Like, nobody knew what was going on. Yo. All that shit. But let me tell you, Vincent, he can tell a story. Like that fool can tell a story. He don't mind embarrassing himself to be able to tell a story. Let me tell you. This shit is crazy, y'all. Oh man, Uncle Tim is crazy. Please no. Wait, what are we please? Wait, know about what? Yeah, he funny. Yeah, he when he be going off too. Yeah. Oh, the way old heads be cussing people out, like you can never like they're unmatched when it comes to cussing somebody out because they don't give a damn. Like they would just say whatever is on their mind. Right. This is Rick's like it's transparency for your ass because I don't know if I could be that transparent at all. I, shouldn't Larry have said something? About what? Like, should he have made a statement or something? Well, I know originally Larry was like going from to like different channels and stuff like that, and um, you know, this was before he had put out the documentary and stuff like that. He was going to different channels and stuff like that, but I think he stopped, and I think the reason why he stopped was because he was all like, okay, it didn't do the numbers that the first video did. You know, the first video got 90,000. This one, let me see real quick. Excuse me. It wasn't enough to hurt him. Let me say it like that. This is just me being honest. It didn't hurt him at all. Like the one that he did with Levante got 5,000. Part 1 got 3.8. Part 3, 4.5. Part 4, 3.9. I don't think it did enough. Like Larry's just looking at this like, oh, it's another, hate video about me, whatever. He doesn't care. I don't think he sees it as an actual threat. Like, oh, this is something that's going to hurt my brand. This is going to hurt my image. He don't care about that. And I think also too, because people are looking at Vincent like, okay, well, how are you a victim in all of this? Are you truly a victim? Now, he said he's not a victim. He did say that. He's not a victim. But I think more transparency and more accountability is what a lot of people wanted. I think that's why they're calling him out. Like I said, I think it was a situation where he was in love with someone who didn't love him the way that he thought he should be loved. And I think we all been in love and somebody didn't love us back, right? I think universally, we've all been in those situations. Reid always bragging about being a prophet, pastor, master teacher, but said not about being on the side of the road. Wait, casting spells. There's another thing too, and I'll probably end on this. But the Daryl Moore versus Larry Reid, I never really got into that because as far as I know, both sides say they're winning. Like I know Larry says he's winning and then Daryl says he's winning. I don't necessarily understand all the ins and outs, so I just kind of back away from it. Just like the same with Levante. The reason why I didn't really get so far into the Levante thing, and trust me, I made one video and said like, okay, I think the timelines aren't adding up, and it was just a lot of stuff that was like inconsistent in the beginning. I didn't dive into that because of a few things. I don't want to talk about any kind of R. Kelly underage, and I don't want to talk about that. That's not what my channel is about. Like, that's not fun. That's traumatic and horrible, right? And then 2 was I thought it was being legally handled, or it's confusing because that's the last thing I knew was that Larry got a default judgment because Levante didn't show up or he didn't. Like, it's all like, so you're not going to fight this thing? Like, you want to have faith in people, but if they're not willing to do the work themselves, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to forget about it too. Whatever, Rejection is part of the human experience. We all have to go through it, right? I feel like my ratchet side would do well in the B sector. I feel like you would, Princess. Yeah, you should definitely look into going in the B sector. Yeah, I think you'd be good for it. You know how to cuss somebody out. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end the show right here. We're almost at an hour. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I appreciate everybody for being here. This is an open dialogue. Again, y'all don't have to agree with the stuff that I say. This is just us having a conversation. This is the conclusion I came up with watching that four-part miniseries. this is the conclusion I came up with. Hurt feelings, hurt people, and you just I am human. From the show, it doesn't sound like Levante um, or Vincent is aware of the new lawsuit. What new lawsuit? What's up, Sugar Walls? How you doing? Thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. What's up, Sneaky Link? What lawsuit? Oh, Dina said yes, and the DM say he had to go to the hospital. Daryl is the reason the world found out about V. Terrell Hill. They go back to the court on the 29th. They denied Daryl's motion to drop the case. Stay tuned. Oh, okay. This happened last week. I'll have to leave it alone. Okay, okay. Okay. And I Am Human, what do you mean by the new lawsuit? I hate when people come and then they leave. Like, I Am Human, can you answer that question? What new lawsuit are you? Are you referencing that or are you referencing something else? The one that is default. Well, I had heard that it was default like back from last year. Is there something else? Or are you saying like they don't know that it defaulted? Like you got to know it defaulted, right? The new lawsuit against Daryl. Oh, they don't know that the one with Daryl defaulted. Mm. He sued again 2 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. That's the one I do know. Yeah. That's the one I do know about. Yeah. Okay, he sued again 2 weeks ago. Okay, so that is the one. Okay. Oh, and I Am Human first is saying that they didn't know about. Okay, about Daryl's. Got it. Okay. Yeah, are you gonna come up? Yeah. Come up. Okay. I guess to be continued. This is not over. Okay, y'all, don't leave yet. The show ain't over. Yeah, I seen Daryl's video when he said that. Like he called him at 2 in the morning. I would have been like, calling me at 2. I don't blame Daryl. I did see that one.
This is me.
Oh, hey, what name you want to be called?
You can call me Calvin.
Okay, Calvin. Thank you for coming up. Go ahead, sound off. I'll shut up.
Yeah, so Larry went ahead and filed a case against Lavondre again in North Carolina. So I don't
Oh,
think
against
many people.
Levante.
Yeah. So if you Google Larry and Lavondre right now, there's a second lawsuit that he apparently didn't answer for, and Larry got a default judgment on that situation. And I was asking Vincent about, so what's going on with the new lawsuit? And this is like he didn't like, what are you talking about? So I don't even think they even know what's going on. But apparently it was served to him and it's going through the court system right now. And as I pry and peep into the Larry Reid platform, the last update is like Larry's expecting to get like 100 and something K from that judgment against him. So I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, bruh.
What?
Yeah,
Oh shit. He must not know about that. Well,
yeah,
no, and that's the other thing too, because during that live, I don't know if you heard, but he said like while he was like not performing, but they were doing like
working.
rehearsal.
Uh-huh. See, and I caught that too. So if you listen to the first lawsuit, Larry said, and CTV said they served the mom, and she was the one that accepted it on his behalf. So when he's talking about this one, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is he aware? He got to be aware of the second one, if that's the case, because his mom got served with the first one. So if he got papers for a lawsuit, then it must be the second one. But then again, I don't know. I that when I saw it, it just irritated me because if he needed money, he know he could come to the internet and we would help him in his legal fees. But I don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah, and that's always been my thing about Levante because it's all like, okay, everybody's all like Levante is a victim, blah blah blah. But has anybody helped him get representation? Like it's all like we can say like we care about him and stuff like that, but has anybody got representation or has he sought out representation? Like anything, like what have you done yourself? Like that's always been like one of my issues.
Well, see, you got when Levante, for you remember when he came out the second time, was that that's the second time under Whitehead. Whitehead was going to front any legal affairs at that point in time, and it was Whitehead's lawyer that responded to the first lawsuit that Larry filed, and he says like you found it in incorrect jurisdiction. I am in Atlanta. If you want to serve me in Atlanta, here I am. Send your paperwork here, and I'll be glad to take care of it. But knowing Larry understands the legal game or whatever the case may be. I think he waited for Levante to get vulnerable, or at least because Mr. Whitehead, it's a situation with him. He doesn't have that paper like he said he would, and
Hmm.
he's at this point in time in a compromised position, and not probably in a place where he can help Levante. So if Larry Reid wanted to strike, I mean, it would be this would be the appropriate time when Mr. Whitehead can stand in. But I'm like, even if that's the case, you could have gone to Tasha K. You could have gone to anywhere if that was the case. So I don't know what's going on. I was hoping to get some clarification when he was up there on Vincent Plant panel. What's going on with that new lawsuit that we see, and I still don't know. So I guess I'm gonna just have to wait to see what's coming from Larry CTV. And according to Larry's last meeting on there, he spoke briefly about it, and he's like he's waiting on the judgment, and he's expecting to get like 100 and something K against Levante. I'm like, well, I just confused, bro. Very confusing.
Oh wow! But I don't think you can. Like, would he be able to get that much from Levante if Levante doesn't have that kind? Because shit, if Levante had that kind of money, I think he would have had some kind of representation, right?
Um, so I'm not familiar with how default judgment works.
Uh huh.
Um, I guess when you're the only one or the person who took up the lawsuit and you filed it, whatever the case would be, um, I don't know how that works. And also, federal judgment, the damages have to be less than more than 75K, right?
Hmm.
For those type of situations. So at least he presented 75K, and 25 on top of that K is that's I guess the bare minimum when you come to a situation like that, which is why Daryl Moore kind of decided not to pursue it anymore, because if he would have lost that case, it would have definitely exceeded like 100K. And when you think
Right.
about lawyer fees and things of that nature, I'm sure Larry probably spent more than 25 K on lawyer fees, and you add 25K plus the minimum which he would have been suing for, 75K. That kind of puts us right at 100K for default judgment. But doesn't mean that
Mm.
he'll ever see that against anyone. It'll just be like something that's against him. Maybe they'll drain his paychecks or whatever the case may be. But
Right. 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 And so, Dina, thank you for keeping us updated. But the one with Daryl Moore, do you know anything about that one or no?
yeah, so I am limited. Yeah, I'm relatively up to date. What would you like to know?
Because I thought that one was still going on.
So the lawsuit against Daryl Moore is the judgment has ended. They both cannot speak on each other. What is the terms? So anytime each of them break that agreement, you can bring that back to the courts. And when the Vincent story came back out, February, um,
Mm. Okay,
Daryl
that's
Moore.
why they have to go back to court on the 29th. Got it. Okay,
Wait a
now
minute. Wait a
that
minute.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
got it,
so so
got it,
so
got
wait a
it.
minute. So let me break that down to you. When
Okay, okay.
so everything was good up until Vincent dropped that big bomb on there, and then I think that's when Daryl Moore kind of got more obvious with his content.
Right,
And
because he
Daryl,
felt vindicated. Like, see, I
yeah,
told you
yeah,
what was going
yeah.
on. Got it,
So
got it, got it.
beforehand, Daryl was being indirect. He would put Larry's profile blacked out or whatever, and he
Mhm.
loosely referencing try to get to shots on the low key whatever. But
Right, right,
when
right.
that
Throw shade like
yeah,
everybody else.
yeah, yeah, like
Yeah,
we know who you're talking about, which is somewhat what Daryl what Larry does as well. But
yeah.
after that, he just got like flagrant with it because, like, at that point, Larry was wounded by that situation. He was like, whatever the case may be, and he got more vocal. And what I should say is, CTV does not like Daryl Moore. He detests
Oh
Daryl
yeah, they don't
Moore.
like each other. No.
So when he has his crew watching Daryl Moore, so if ever Daryl Moore is to slip up, CTV is watching him like a hawk, even if Larry's not watching. So CTV is more active in that lawsuit. So when
Mm.
Daryl got more flagrant in mentioning name and not just even just making names with his title, he was clearly in violation of the terms that they had set up, that he can't speak openly about him. So they just waited. They just just kept tab and let Daryl Moore think. I guess we were thinking he probably just, because Larry don't want to spend any more legal fees, whatever the case may be, to take Daryl Moore back to that. But I think it's something that CTV does not want to let go, and wants to impose the conditions that were set up back in 2001, 2002. So
Oh.
that's why they're going back to court again, um, this time around. But you remember, this would be like the second time, because you remember the first time they did it, he took him back to the court, and I think the judgment was like $790 something Daryl had to pay. I don't know what came of that, but then this would be the second time. So who knows what's the judge is going to say for the second time around.
Okay, okay.
So that's the
That
second
makes sense.
time. Yeah, this will be the second time he's breached the terms of the agreement of not mentioning each other publicly on social media platforms. So yeah, so we'll see what comes from it. I think you said May 29th or whatever. Is when I think that's May 29th where they're going to be back in court again.
Right. And Calvin, I have a question for you because I kind of see you like everywhere. Like, where do you fall in line? Like, were you a Larry fan or?
So, I was one of the people that kind of saw the drama outplay from the beginning to the end.
Mhm.
I came in like most people watching Larry, Larry, like most channels, you just get a suggestion or whatever. I think it was I think I got hip to his channel through Sunday Best, his coverage of Sunday Best, and I think that's where I
Mm.
got whatever. So I just like tune in, to see the news or whatever. And then towards the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, that's when things picked up and became this whole online beef between Larry Jives and CTV and Daryl Moore, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
And by the time this 20 was COVID time, like mid or whatever time, March that year. Yeah, by March that year, 2020, that's when the Levante story hit the internet. So I saw that play out or whatever the case may be.
Oh, okay. So you've been here since the beginning.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oof.
So I know where a lot of the bodies are buried. I know who's lying, who's telling the truth. So they can't they can't put one on me like I was like recently on what's his name? I don't know if I can say his name. The
No, oh, you can say names. It's fine.
What's his name? Tice report or whatever. Because
Oh, you're on Tais's. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Now he's a fan of Larry Reid. So how did that
yeah.
go? Did it go well?
In terms of what?
Of like, was he receptive to the stuff that you were saying, or
No, 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 no.
no?
Well, no, no. See, he Thais is Thais not like CTV. Thais is Thais, from my understanding, he wasn't there from the beginning. When I asked him, he didn't answer. But from what I can gather, he was not there doing the beginning or doing that drama. Like most people weren't tuned in at that time. But
Hmm.
he came in afterwards, and he is clearly a fan of Larry. I did not want to upset his channel because I could see that Larry has kind of found him as another place or another outlet when he can utilize his voice to get his message. Usually
Hmm.
that would be CTV, but you know, he CTV wasn't providing opposition uh to Vincent in terms of all this coverage or negative information that's coming out. Usually that would be CTV who's
Hmm.
doing being the defense, standing in defense of Larry, and he wasn't doing that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on? But
Yeah.
you know,
Well, he probably didn't want to get. He was like, "This shit is
no, 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 no.
this some
See,
shit." He probably didn't want to get involved. In all that. Like he
listen.
already, got the Daryl thing. He wasn't trying to hop into this.
Well, CTV has no problem standing in opposition for Larry Reid. It is, I think their relationship is still very much strained. I wouldn't say 90% is strange because of William coming back and be welcome to the phone, and Larry providing him a voice and giving him a space on the internet. And CTV is in utter defiance of that. If you go
Mm.
and watch his last
Yeah. Well, well, if I was CTV, I don't know too much about the situation, but I know about some allegations that William put on him. Like, yeah, I'd be upset about that too because everybody and their mom was talking about. I still don't really know who William is, so I
you
didn't
don't know
really
who
talk
William
about that.
McCrae is?
No, all I know is that he hates dark skinned people and he wears wigs.
Wait a minute, you don't know who William McCrae is?
No, no, this whole church sector is new to me.
Wow. Yeah, he's one of the more what's the word? Colorful characters within the
Yeah,
sector.
and he was like the original person doing like the church
Yeah,
gospel
I didn't know
music.
who he was until coming to Larry Reid's platform, and I remember towards 2019 him and King Jives were to do a show together. But
Hmm.
so that's how I learned of him. He was more of a a vicious Wendy Williams. He was more like a vicious type. He's, as you can see, his coverage, his rhetoric, his mouth is reckless. So yeah, he was very vicious with it. But the
Hmm.
backstory is to that. Yeah, of course, as we're learning that Larry got, you know, he had a radio show. Larry filled in for him sometime, and that's how they became acquainted. He knew Larry when you're asking something about why did so many people live in the house at one point in time. So here's
Yeah.
what so in terms of the ministry, and you hear all stories about people living in people houses and things of that nature. You must understand that Larry had bought people from Texas, and then the church moved around. So when you're picking up a church and you move into, say, like Raleigh from Atlanta to, say, I don't know what's another place, Gwinnett County, wherever somewhere far away, maybe like
Hmm.
I don't know, Stonecrest or whatever the case may be. When you got people moving, saints moving to different area, they may live together just until they get it back on their feet in this new area, whatever the case may be, which is what happened. Why you laughing?
You don't see the comment?
Uh,
It says "whole house." I took it down. Here it is.
oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's why I was laughing. I'm sorry. Keep going. But so
yes,
you were saying like the church moved around a lot. So
yeah. So produced a lot of instability where you have saints moving from one area, whatever the case may be. So they live together until can get separated. The kids moved to the location ahead of time, or things of that nature. So that's what caused a
oh, did
lot
you
of
grow up in the church?
who me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Got you. Got you. Got
So
you.
so that's what that's when you hear like a lot of people living together. That's what happened in terms of what happened in Atlanta. So they moved to Atlanta, where the case may be, and as
Mm-hmm.
Larry Church started downsize, and when Larry started to like pull back and like he didn't want to be anyone's pastor. And I think 2016, 2017, that may be. The people is close knit, which was I think uh him and Shamako and Kendall and Vincent, whatever the case may be. I guess yeah, they ended up living together because after the church, that was I guess it's the sole source of funds. Like this is us. We now the church is going, so I guess that's what made them live together so they could I
Right.
guess get them back on their feet and try to find a new way of making a living.
Okay, so that's why they were all together. I don't. It's still a little weird to me, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Last question: do you think that Vincent is a victim or been a victim of something?
So yeah, so I heard your commentary earlier, and I tend to agree with you in some regards. I think I agree with you from the aspect that I see them as two people who their initial connection had to do with interest in in each other, and then it turned into a situation where spiritual abuse and that nature. I do believe that
Mm,
Larry manipulated in his power and the Bible from that and from that aspect to make him do things in that he didn't necessarily want to do.
right.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
like I said, I don't see him in the same vein as Levantry, who was underage
Right. I
and
feel like it's two
yeah.
different
Yeah,
scenarios.
two different types of abuse, if you want to look at it that way.
Right. I definitely agree with you. Well, thank you. I am human first. When can we expect another video from you?
So I'm working on a big piece.
Mhm.
You see more come of it, but I also want to answer people questions as to where is CTV at? Why is he speaking out for Larry? You got Vincent up here going strong, and nobody's running real clear opposition. You don't even have William McCray saying nothing. You don't have a CTV saying anything. The only person that Larry could
Mhm.
run to at that point in time was Thais to get his message out. So
Yeah.
uh,
Well, like I said, I think with the situation, it didn't garner like a lot of views like the first one did. You know how the first one got like 90K and
mhm.
all that stuff. I think because the views were low, it's kind of like, oh well, if we just pretend like it didn't happen and just kind of move on from it, we'll be fine.
Well, see, I would tend to agree with that only, but
Mhm.
if Larry did not start percolating and messaging under Thais platform and also
Mhm.
what's his name, St. James. Like because he went to these places and spoke
Yeah.
out, I knew he wanted to speak out. I knew he wanted to get his story out, and he should have been doing this to dudes CTV, and CTV wasn't providing him that outlet or whatever. And he's not going to do it on his channel because it would only amplify it. But
Yeah.
like Larry, he wants to
What I
go ahead.
think also too to spread his message to other people too as well.
Yeah,
Why not go to these other platforms and be like, hey,
but
let me because I know when people are doing videos about me, I'll pop in the chat and be like, oh hey everybody, what's going on? I try to make sure that I can try to sway the people on my side. Like it's a strategy.
yeah, in your battle with I don't know if I can say his name. The
Go ahead and say the name.
Did not is infamous. So I see you.
I had a feeling. I
I
had a
see you up, and I'm like, why is he
He
here?
over there.
And this
I get
dude,
to mention me at all.
let him go. But do you see? Do you know where he's at now these days?
Do I know where he's at?
Yeah. Do you know he's aligned with these days?
I have no
He's
idea.
with King Jives. He's teamed up with King Jives, so they're like doing like their own male version of the View. He has him and his another guy, so it's interesting.
Oh
Uh,
well, good. Listen, if he partnered up with King Jives, he should be happy and stop harassing people now, right?
you know what?
He's not doing that. That's the problem. So yeah.
I've seen him twice over there. He seems very for no disrespect, he seems very medicated and sedated. A
It's
sedated
all that powder. That's why. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
so he is very much tame. over there. But if I
Mhm.
the nod is the nod, the mod will be the nod regardless. So I'm just waiting for that whole situation because these are two people that have very explosive personalities, unstable
Mm.
personality. No shade to you, Jive, but you know how you are. So I'm just it's a tick bomb. It's just time. Just watch, keep watching. Something's gonna happen where that whole thing is going to
Ah.
shatter. But yeah. So yeah. Larry Larry has never done that. He's never went to anyone's channel under their message to respond to anything because CTV has always been that outlet for him to get out his message without
Mhm.
using his platform. He does not have that at this point in time. Even when he was on their last CTV, if you listen to me, he purposely avoided anything with Vincent, whatever. Now, I would love to see how feisty Vincent is. How you see how quick he snapped, especially how he got with William. It would be interesting to see Vincent and CTV go head to head, but I don't think as you know, as you said, Vincent still has more bullets in his chamber. So I don't think
Mm.
they want to. We still haven't heard everything, all the dirt that
Right.
Vincent can
Because I
present.
have a feeling there's going to be another documentary or another video. I don't think this is over. We probably won't hear from him for a couple. Well, there's supposed to be an interview. Remember, he did say that.
Well, okay. So let me give you some insight right now.
Oh, you got some
Well,
teasers.
not
Okay.
so much some insight. So what people are getting mixed up, or I hear a lot of people saying they want Vincent, like they're like, why you keep talking about, you seem like you're obsessed with him. We have to remember, this is the first time Vincent is telling his story. This is the first time we're learning about the details of the relationship. So how could it be a ongoing or consistent thing when this is the first time we're hearing about it?
Mm.
So from that vantage point, if you listen to his documentary, he's answered a lot of the questions that we probably had we were concerns about, and understanding the relationship and where he felt in. So if he did an interview right now, it'd just be like a regurgitation of what's I guess things that we already know. So he is looking for someone outside of the sector, and hopefully that person would bring some type of different type of questionings that we are not
Yeah, but
yeah.
are they going to know what's really going on?
So that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it. If you don't want someone too far out that they're not able to pick a piece pick apart your story and give you critical feedback on what you did. And a lot of people have had a lot of criticism about Vincent since his arrival. And you mentioned something about his numbers from his documentary. It doesn't compare to when it first came out. And I think,
Hmm.
and I saw, were you in the chat, or you were in the clouds from his last video with Levantre?
I was in the clouds on that
Okay.
one. Well, I've seen the replay. Let me say that.
Okay, so and that's where one thing I was kind of disappointed. And of course, it wasn't a big, huge rollout. It wasn't like a mass affair. That situation with Levantre happened by accident, whatever the case may be. And I think Vincent has kind of pissed a lot of people off when he when he went at a lot of the vloggers and official King of
Yeah,
Pain.
I
And
seen how the tide turned because everybody was all like, "Oh, we love Vincent," and then like all of a sudden
yeah,
it turned and everybody was all like, "Okay, well you're just bitter." But I see both sides of it though. I honestly do. I see both sides.
yeah, so I was hoping that, to see some people. I did see OKP on King Pain on the first document series, but I didn't see him on the second, third, or fourth, or whatever the case would be. And I didn't see Sean Davy William at all. And I don't know if he's done any coverage of that document series. So I think Vincent lost the support of those two platforms and things of that nature, and even Tasha K platform. I don't know where they're at. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it's out there on this channel for anyone who ever wants to research. But the way Vincent's positioned it, it's not hasn't doesn't have Larry Reid's name in the title. So if you ever were looking for something on Larry Reid, it you have to be looking for in the right place.
Right. You would have to know about it in order to see it.
Yeah,
Like they did because it didn't have Larry in it. I think
yeah,
that also too hindered it too as well.
yeah, yep, yep, yep,
But it is what it is.
yep.
But thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you.
No problem, no problem. Thank you so much, and you guys have a good night.
All right, you too. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for coming. This has been a great show. That was a great dialogue. Shout out to Dina too on Facebook. Thank you for being here too and bringing a lot of clarity. And thank you, I am Human First, aka Calvin, for coming up too. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all my AT tubers. I love y'all, but we out of here, y'all. Deuces. Talk to y'all later. Damn, when I can find the outro, we can talk later. Hold on. Here we go.